I gave it up.
Welcome in, everybody.
Right at the convergence of the Three Rivers on Art Rooney Drive, we welcome you to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Dallas Cowboys and the Pittsburgh Steelers. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line.
This is...
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the steel capital of the world, Pittsburgh, PA, at Heinz Field. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the Chicago Bears and the Pittsburgh Steelers. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's carry number 1 for Jordan Howard. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be second down. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. Give him 8 yards there. Still a few inches to go, though, as it'll be third down and about the length of the football.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
And he'll get nothing out of that one. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on fourth.
That was a terrific job by the defense stopping them on 3rd and short. But sometimes you get some visual cues from the offense because when they're going in short yard situations, you might see the offensive line come in tighter together, a little more shoulder to shoulder, trying to wedge a hole in the middle. They didn't get it done on that play.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Now the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And he's got room. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
They'll wind up getting 4 down to the 36. And a peek now at the offense for Pittsburgh.
To play running back in today's NFL, you need to be versatile, and that really defines Le'Veon Bell because if you hand it to him, he won't turn it down. 321 carries in 2017. And if you want to throw it to him, well, they targeted him 106 times last season as well, which was 2nd in running backs only to Christian McCaffrey. So Le'Veon Bell is a defensive nightmare when you try to figure out where he's going to be on the field to try to defend him.
Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. And here are the Chicago defensive starters.
Leonard Floyd's athleticism can be scary good, and one advantage he has now in the NFL is that he's finally at one position and one position only. When he's at the University of Georgia, he played inside linebacker, played outside linebacker, he played defensive end, almost depended on down and distance. Now strictly an outside linebacker with one key responsibility: go get the quarterback.
On 2nd down, here's Roethlisberger. And he is caught at the 7-yard line. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how are you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
Down this close to the goal line, first down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on first down in this situation because...
And he's in! Touchdown, Pittsburgh! Le'Veon Bell, a 5-yard touchdown run, and the Steelers have taken a first-quarter lead. And he was excellent on that drive. He deserved to be the one to get across the chalk.
Oh, I agree with you totally. A workhorse on the drive, and how about that last decisive run to punch it in?
Boswell good with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Boswell on now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
On second down, here's Trubisky. Now he steps in. Now Trubisky lost the football. And it looks like Steeler football. It is.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
So should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about it anymore.
The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a first down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. He will push his way down to about the 14. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
And Boswell's kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
A huge play there for Chicago. 57 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
From the red zone now, here's Trubisky on first down. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Trey Burton, the one he was looking for. And that'll bring up 2nd down. But not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete.
Pressure comes, and Trubisky goes down. T.J. Watt in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
Enough to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
He's going to dump that off to his running back, Cohen. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. It'll be a gain of 9, and that's going to make it 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Now Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
On second down, it's Bell. And now running right through it. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down. Getting the sense, Charles, are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Now it's Roethlisberger to the right side and complete to Washington. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Oh, it's incomplete. That would have been big in the end zone if he could have held on. Instead, it's second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Roethlisberger with a give to Bell. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
On 3rd down, here's Bell. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
It'll be a gain of 5 there as they move closer. It's 2nd and goal. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead, because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about where you're going to go. I might come right back at them with the same play, the same set, and see if they can stop them.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down leads us to 3rd and inches. They'll try and run it in with Bell. No gain on the play, and what to do now on 4th and goal.
There are certain drives in a game where anything less than a touchdown that caps it feels like an absolute disappointment. This is one of those drives.
A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out that just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll start with a give to Cohen. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. There to stop him, Terrell Edmonds.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
This is Howard on second down. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Now Roethlisberger going to hand to Bell. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. Danny Trevathan there to bring him down.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Back with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's the Steelers on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. From the gun on third down, it's Roethlisberger. And James has it. That one goes for 24 yards. You know, when I see passes like that, I'm reminded of something you and I talked about yesterday. Big Ben was a wide receiver the first 3 years of high school, sitting behind the coach's son, and then he finally got that opportunity. I think he's made the most of it.
It's always the coach's son, isn't it? But you know where it helps him? When he looks downfield, he knows what the receivers are going to do. He actually has wide receivers' eyes when he's throwing the ball.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
From the red zone now, here's Roethlisberger on first down. And it's caught. It's Brown. Touchdown Steelers. Antonio Brown from 13 yards out. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead.
Sometimes when I see these types of plays executed, I think of basketball. Guys boxing other guys off to go out and get a rebound.
And he got the rebound right there. But the defense was really placed well.
Yeah, they were right there. I mean, that's where it's really tough for a defender. When you're in the right spot, you're draped on the guy catching the ball, yet he still comes down with it.
Boswell on now to kick this one away. On the return, it's Tariq Cohen. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time. I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
And he is out of bounds inside the 35. That one goes for 24 yards.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, did a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. Actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
A touch that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they've wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there and gets the good defensive position, able to affect the play.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on third down.
And this is just outside the right upright. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
230.
On first down, it's Roethlisberger. And a little floater there, but it'll wind up incomplete, falling to the ground. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver. And it's second down.
Well, partner, so much for the mismatch. How about the guy at the second level, that big linebacker, able to run with the receiver and make a play on the football?
A give to Bell. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And now off to the races, down the right side. And he takes this thing way down into Chicago territory. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
That will be caught by James. The big tight end has a Steeler touchdown. Jesse James from 10 yards out. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead. Extra point now by Boswell. Extra point put through by Boswell. And a rout is on here in this first half. Boswell on now to kick this one away. Now the return man. This is Benny Cunningham. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. And the last time that they were on the field, a little demoralizing. Missed field goal. You always feel like you want to get it in the end zone, but then, oh, well, at least we're going to get 3. Didn't go through the goalpost, so.
It does test the mental processes of a team, though, doesn't it? Because when you miss a field goal, it's amazing how fast they want to turn on the guy kicking the ball. but you need to keep his confidence up because how many times have we seen games where it comes down to the stretch? And guess what? You need that guy to make the big kick for your team to move on or to win a game. Make sure you keep him happy. Make sure you...
Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked up by the former first-rounder, Artie Burns.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
Over the middle, hauled in by Smith-Schuster. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Bell, and that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
I think it's pretty safe to say that when you're up 3 touchdowns, the last thing you want to do is hang one up there and put it in jeopardy and possibly get it intercepted. Got a nice lead. You should be able to protect it. But if you get careless with the football, look out.
They call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and the Bears take over. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They'll begin the drive with Howard, and he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
I think Cameron Hayward's ability to take on blocks, hold the point of attack, and get upfield serves him very, very well. What a nice play there.
Yeah, he can take on blocks because he's built like a block. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
It's brought in by Kevin White. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 14, but they're still a little bit short as it brings up 4th.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball?
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They'll start out on the ground with Bell. Le'Veon Bell, kiss him goodbye. The 20. And he takes this thing way down into Chicago territory. It's a big run that time by Bell. 66 yards for him on the ground. And for those worried about whether or not Le'Veon's explosiveness would return, I think we just had our answer.
ACL? What ACL? This guy's back running as if he were totally healthy and never had an issue.
Here's Roethlisberger. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. 3 first-half touchdown passes now for Ben Roethlisberger. And the Steelers offense, they continue to pour it on.
That's almost just not right. You cover everybody. But those tight ends, they can be awfully reliable.
Very reliable. Defense just has to hate those guys.
This drives them crazy because oftentimes you can't match up with them. They have you either with size, speed, or maybe even just strength.
Boswell good with the extra point, and a rout is on here in this first half. Boswell on now to kick this one away. Cunningham now to return. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Bears offense now heading back out onto the field. And with this deficit, You can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it. All right?
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. T.J. Watt in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much there at all. He's up only to about the 16-yard line. Cameron Hayward in on the tackle. The Bears on third down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and a mile. Out of the gun, Trubisky. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll lose yardage here, back to the 15. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 48. Here's Roethlisberger to throw. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stuff. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a 1st down.
I know every time we watch Le'Veon Bell play, we think about him making people miss the hesitation move. But you remember, he came out of Michigan State as a bruiser and a thumper, and he still has those capabilities.
At 225 pounds, an underrated part of his game. This is Bell. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. 1:59 to go in the first half. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will be alongside. He'll have highlights and analysis from Orlando of this first half of action. They'll run it now out of the gun. Bell so light on his feet. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. It's a Pittsburgh 1st down, a gain of 13.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack. And guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. Throw left side, complete to Smith-Schuster. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the 1st down.
Throwing now, Roethlisberger on 1st down. That's complete, right around the 8. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
On 2nd down, Roethlisberger. And this is going to be intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick. 13 seconds, the time remaining in the half as they come up on 1st down. They go with Howard to begin the drive. And he'll take this one only up to about the 21. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. 2nd and 9 now from the 21. So we reach halftime here in this. There you have it. Halftime quickly over. Third quarter, here we go. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. On the return, Fitzgerald to Suggs. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. The last drive he threw the pick, but he's not shy. He's going downfield again there.
And you can't be, because if you back off after throwing an interception, your whole game plan just goes right out the window, and it makes things easier for a defense. And you and I both know there's a quarterback in this league that's any good that doesn't throw an interception occasionally, and they usually bounce back in a big way. I've seen guys throw 5 and still find a way to win the game at the end.
Roethlisberger. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation. And there, the defense won the battle. He gets it to Brown, complete. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. So that connection with Brown came on the post route.
He makes you question yourself as a scout, doesn't he? He's a 6th-round pick. I mean, his level of play is a first-round, top 10, top 5 pick. He's been that impressive in his ability to run all routes, but I think he likes going to the post and catch it because that usually results in a big play.
That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it.
Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Big Ben with his 4th touchdown pass of the afternoon. And this Steelers offense is running away with this one. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. Boswell on now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. They go with Howard again. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. It's a 10-yard pickup and it moves the chains.
Well, so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to get it.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
And he's going to take this one down to the 25. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Hey, you got those.
Again, it's Bell. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. Adrian Amos up to make the tackle. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on second down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on third down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best block.
But it's brought in by Washington. And down inside the 15 he goes. A Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that
first.
wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag, completed it very well.
And nearly picked off there, almost intercepted. Instead, second down. He's lucky to be getting that one back.
After what they've done with him all day long, with all the targets trying to go after him, he's obviously gotten smart, and his pride has kicked in. Made a terrific play.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Roethlisberger. That's complete, right around the 8. Flash those fast feet, but they'll drop him at the 5-yard line as he can't get any closer to the end zone.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete and almost intercepted. Would have been a huge pick in the end zone, but as it stands, that brings up 4th. And Mike Tomlin going to roll up the sleeves here and say, let's go for it on 4th.
Hey, boys, got full that. Black 20. 58, right over there. Yeah. Right, 58, right there.
They'll run it with Bell. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. Able to convert on 4th to bring up 1st and goal. That's a big 3 yards right there.
Well, I'll tell you, this guy's had a monster game on the ground. So if you're going to go for it on 4th and short, it can't be any secret who's going to get the ball. And sure enough, he's going to add to his total hit.
And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. How about Ben Roethlisberger, his 5th touchdown pass of the afternoon. And the Steelers offense, they continue to pour it on. And a play fake down near the goal line here worked out well.
Anytime you can make them think that you're going to run the ball and go to that play action pass, you see the end result. Usually a touchdown.
Is that harder? Is the play fake harder to defend for the defense near the goal line or no? Because there's not as much room to work with?
It is harder because down near the goal line, you're thinking much more of a running play, especially if people run out big formations. So it is harder to defend.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
You think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. And this is Gabriel on the catch. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. He got 29 yards that time.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Trubisky now off the bootleg. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Sit up. 180.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now it's Trubisky. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they move this all the way down to the 9. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. 1st and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick the play you think they would run here and just load up for it and see what happens.
And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. To say they've kept him under wraps running the football, that's an understatement. He's been completely neutralized.
Yeah, they've essentially taken him out of the game, haven't they? And you know all the teams say, we're not going to let him beat us. But that's exactly what's...
And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Jordan Howard, 14 yards. And the Bears claw one back.
And we know they won't get their names in the stat sheet, but the offensive line has to get all the credit for that touchdown run. Tremendous job.
Back now in Pittsburgh, where the 4th quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the 3rd quarter. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried. Concerned about getting him out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Now after the run by Bell, here's another 1st and 10. Now a 1st down carry by Bell. And they're going to get him down, but not before a pretty good run right there. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them. But all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they got it going today.
Now it's Roethlisberger. Over the middle here to Brown. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A good pickup there of 20 yards. A good grab there by the former Central Michigan man, Antonio Brown.
And he ate up some real estate on the catch, too, didn't he? I think the most impressive part of it, though, if there's a chance for him to get the football, even though he was covered well, he somehow finds a way to get it.
No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
But he was stopped on that play, but he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
A fake to Bell. Now it's Roethlisberger. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete.
Block 80!
Play action. Now Roethlisberger. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Akeem Hicks coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play-action sack. Wide open receiver complete. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. 21 yards there. A big play on 4th down. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. This one complete, right side to McDonald. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that. But it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost his bread and butter. It's a good running back dive play.
They'll go back to the ground with Bell. Bell 1st down and then some. And he gets it all the way down to the 3. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal. Brown, the lone receiver, left. Now Roethlisberger. And it's caught. It's Brown. Touchdown, Steelers. Antonio Brown, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And this Steelers offense is running away with this one. So another score. There, often you talk about the 3 phases of the game: defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. They'll try and run it in with Bell. And he will not make it to the goal line, as his try for 2 is going to come up empty. But that's little consolation to this defense, as they have been porous all game long. Boswell on now to kick this one away. Cunningham now to return. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that and have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
An excellent pickup of 34 yards. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
They'll give it to him up the middle. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a 3rd and goal. The Bears on third down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and goal. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They've got it 3rd and goal now as they try to punch in a late touchdown. From the shotgun is Trubisky. And that is incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And Parkey's kick is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability. Yeah,
you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
Roethlisberger going to throw it. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. The give is to Bell. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave him with a 3rd down and 6 to go.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Mike, check. 59.
On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They go with a slant that time, 15 yards at a 1st down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll go again with Bell. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. A Steeler 1st down on the pickup of 11 yards.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Oh, Roethlisberger going to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Kyle Fuller. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. Now they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. Has a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. A throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
I sound